Yeah, Moscow, right? So let's see what's going on here. It's the 22nd of December. It's the end of the German turn. We just wrapped up doing a double check on rail and extenders after the reserve move phase, or the exploit phase is actually what it's called. And we've also done most of the cleanup we need to do. So the situation is, if you recall, we were trying to encircle Moscow and attempt to cut off supply. Now, while that's all a rather glorious and grand plan, and probably very obvious, I'm sure everyone's tried to do this when they've played a GB2 by itself or in combination with something else. What the Soviets can do is just create an extender. The challenge the Soviets have, however, is twofold. One, they already have an extender down here, and they actually don't have enough trucks back in this section of the map to build another. So they're going to have to break that extender down in this section of the map, which is just across the Oka River, and they can just pull all these forces back. So it's not a big deal. It'll give the Germans some breathing room, so the Germans will be happy about that, and the Soviets will just pop back across the river. It's a better position to defend from in any case, given their failed counterattack. Now, that's the first problem. So, pulling that guy out and putting it somewhere. Now, where to put it? Rostov has this unit in it here, which can probably be attacked and taken care of fairly easily. And the two commando units should just be total walkovers. However, there is a chance that they will be reinforced and supported from the several divisions that are trying to squeak through this little lane here. The Germans did a pretty good job this turn of reinforcing that area. They chose not to attack and save their supply, which is getting a little thin, and focus on moving more units that we were more comfortable losing than our precious little panzers. So we now have reinforced all of that with elements of 2nd Panzer, the rest of 18th Panzer, and I believe we brought most of 3rd Panzer up into that area as well. And we pulled back from our feint up this direction towards the south of Moscow. We pulled all the SS forces back into some rough terrain here, so the Das Reich and all those guys are all in there with the 18th, and kind of huddled around the HQ. Very strong stacks. Not sure that anyone will be attacking them unless they are feeling kind of lucky. In the north, had a really interesting exercise with the 7th, which last turn we got down to here by meandering along these roads and whatnot. We did an overrun here, knocked a unit out, and then cruised through. Now, shame on the Soviets for not having a two-step unit there, or whatever the case may be, but they were just flat out of units trying to protect Kalinin, given that the Germans had done this press around the north and tried to, make it look like they were going to try and encircle Kalinin. So the focus was on a little bit of counterattacking and steeper defense here, deeper defense here, versus protecting the outskirts. And the wily Germans reoriented their attack, punched through with all of the 7th Division, and then ended up here in their after their reserve mode movement. And we used these guys from the 1st, I think it was, to do the overruns. I'm not sure how I did the overruns. I forget now. I've got pictures. I have pictures. There's the 1st Panzer is here, big old stack. And so we moved everything down here, popped this extender here, moved the HQ through. But now these guys were connected to the HQ that was back here. We've now pushed him up to here, and we really have a good opportunity to kind of press down here. And even if we don't capture Moscow or encircle Moscow completely, we have an opportunity to circle up these dudes here, and certainly maybe even pocket these folks if we have an opportunity to down the track. So lots of things going on, and it's pulling the Soviet player in a lot of different directions. for them to build an extender and pop it somewhere in this area here where it's going to be protected, you know, maybe here or whatever the case may be, and go around the offending units, it's not as easy as it looks. So that's that section of the map. I swapped extenders out here. I had a truck extender. I put a wagon dude in here, linked it up with another wagon dude, and now I'm just rotating 5SP up as quick as I can, and I'm railing that all the way up there because that's all converted. It's kind of a redundant, almost a redundant double extender because I'm just a few hexes off of this. If I could get this little loop here and come down, then we would be able to just do one extender, but I can't. All right, 5.5 minutes into it, or 5:40 into it. We, just very briefly here, lots going on in the south, lots more progress than I expected. The Soviets have elected to fall back on Rostov and make a stand there. They've pulled back out of the way everywhere else. We've got caught short-handed here. I actually have one little situation to deal with here that I have not yet resolved. I haven't looked up the rule yet. I forget what happens when a unit has a 0 rated. This is a great stack to attack, and once again, this is where the Soviets just got caught short-handed trying to move stuff. I've got a 0-4. What happens when a unit is so right here we have a 0 rated unit. I don't know what happens. How do you calculate the odds? 8 versus 0 when you're doing odds calculation. What is it? It's not 8 to 1, or is it automatically treated as a 1 or a half, or what? Is it 16 to 1? Is it 0? And then what's 8 to 0? Is that max odds? Maybe it's max odds. So I'll have to look that up. So that's one little thing we've got to take care of. This dual advance. You know, I've got an avenue approaching here, another avenue pressing down towards Rostov. We've already got a few units parked in front of Rostov, and an extender here, HQ somewhere down there. There he is over there. And that will allow us to keep everybody in trace supply, and we're shuffling like madmen with wagons to push content SP forward. And our rail is, actually I'm working on the rail back here. I've got to finish this little linkage here, and once I do that, then I can press further into the mountains or the hills, whatever you want to call it. All right, I think that's it. I'll let you guys go, and I'll talk to you soon.